Hey VC, Gimme 10 on French folk music, or chanson française as we call it in France. A purely kind of French singer-songwriter based music. A lot of really common stuff in there. Like if you're French, my French viewers, they're the people who, or even French Canadian from Quebec, might recognize a lot of these artists. If you're not from a French-speaking background, and it's all going to be probably new to you. Some very common things, as saying, even some choices that might alienate my French viewers. I hope that it provokes some kind of reaction, as at least. I'm going to do 2 or 3 folk-oriented gimme tens back to back, I think. The first one is on French. Chanson française, or French folk music, is a very traditional art of lyric-based music, often with a conscience. You know, lots of artists with some kind of a political, mostly socialist conscience. You know, very strong in their approach to making and writing music, and these songs are very well known. And I think I've grown to appreciate the power of this music from the time I stopped living in France, which is very strange, because when I lived in France, some of these artists I just couldn't listen to because they were all over the place on the radio, blah blah blah. And then from not living there anymore, which has now been, you know, going on to 20 years that I haven't been living in France almost. I now love a lot of these records for different reasons. The first artist I want to showcase is perhaps arguably the greatest French language singer-songwriter or singer. And he's from Belgium, which is a French-speaking place, and I'm talking about Jacques Brel. Now, Jacques Brel is a man that can bring me to tears when I listen to his lyrics. His depictions of the human condition are so vivid and so brilliant that like if you're a French native speaker, you can't help but being touched by it, unless you're a psychopath, obviously. A lot of his records simply called Jacques Brel. I've got about 10 of them, and I picked this one because I really like a couple of the songs, starting with Les Vieux, which means the old people, the old folk, which is the most accurate description of old age. It's almost like, you know, it's like this sense of abandonment when you're old, and you know your family just sort of doesn't look after you, and you know. And obviously there's the mighty Au Suivant, which is the last track on side A, which was covered by Scott Walker and Alex Harvey as Next. It's the military brothel type of song about, you know, prostitute getting gonorrhea. This guy is a whiz. He's a wizard. He was, anyway. He died peacefully, or he died of cancer not peacefully, he died pretty badly actually, in the Marquise Islands in French Polynesia. He's buried there in the same cemetery as Paul Gauguin, the French painter. On the same line, and just as important, is Georges Brassens. Georges Brassens, a total wizard of the French language. I mean, honestly, that man is... There's a small photo of him here. This is what it looked like. He always had a pipe in his mouth, a mustache, and played this. Well, this is inside of a classical guitar, a nylon-string guitar, and he was always accompanied with a guy on double bass. Fantastic lyricist, amazing songs, just full of play on words and double meanings and just amazing array of. And when I was at school, we studied quite a few of his songs as poems. Like you would study Shakespeare, or he was that important. Georges Brassens. Um, he was from a town in the south of France called Sète, on the south coast of France, and he even wrote a song about being buried on the beach in Sète, because he loved his hometown so much. And then on the same kind of line and tip, you have Georges Moustaki. Georges Moustaki, his name is there, was of Greek Egyptian origin, and his family moved to France, and he's well known. Was well known. He died last year. Well known, a fantastic songwriter. Just a lot of emotional content as well. This is a recording live in Bobino, which is a Paris concert room hall in 1970, and you gotta love this image. It's beautiful, fantastic. And then if we go to stay traditional, this guy, he doesn't get much of a rap at all, but he's just a genius. To me, he's like a kind of a chanson française equivalent of Captain Beefheart, and that's Bobby Lapointe. Bobby Lapointe that man is fucking hilarious. He's got some very twisted humor. The way he talks, it's kind of like there's segments where he talks there, and it does remind you of Captain Beefheart going on about Fast and Bulbous. Like he's got some bits of dialogue, in between the songs. And this guy it was just a nut. And this is arranged by Alain Goraguet, who is the guy who made the Fantastic Planet soundtrack. This is a great album, A Vanille et Framboise, from 1969. I mean, when I say Captain Beefheart, obviously the music is not really this bluesy Captain Beefheart's. I'm talking about more the sort of the lyrical approach. The sort of absurd approach to the lyrics, kind of. This surrealistic approach to music. That's what I'm talking about. Here is a real battler, he was a worker in the Renault cars factory. He was a deep socialist, militant, partisan. His name was François Béranger, and he wrote folk songs. It's one of his first records, just simply self-titled on the L'Escargot record, which is very cool. How French, Snail Records. A beautiful piece of just politically minded songwriting. Very, very cool. It's kind of good. Then, I'll talk about Claude Nougaro. This is a record that Chris 4127 Baskets sent me as VCLT. And I probably would have never picked the Claude Nougaro record, but I love this record. It's very cool. Nougaro was I don't know if he's still alive. I'm not sure. I think it was, a singer from the town of Toulouse in the southwest of France. Beautiful town. In France they call it La Ville Rose, the pink city, because everything is, the whole town is sort of pink colored. And this is one of his first records, 1973, arranged, I think, if I remember well, by Jean-Claude Vanier, who arranged Gainsbourg Records. Just great records. What can I say about it? Great lyrics. Nougaro. This one is called Sœur Anne. That's right. Let's talk about some more avant-garde stuff. Oh no, let's talk about something completely cheesy. If you're French and you're watching this, please don't unsubscribe me. This guy here is so popular in France, you would not believe. Everybody knows who Francis Cabrel is. I only own his first two records. Reason being that I found them really, really cheaply. One of them I found in Australia, actually. I found here in the shop for like $3, and I couldn't believe it. I just took it home. And this one I bought in France. It's his first album. It's called Youre the Pussy, I think, the album. Look at the inside. It's great. It's very stark. Now, Francis Cabrel is also from the, like Nougaro, from the southwest of France. He's, he was a kind of a ubiquitous figure on the French musical landscape. In the 90s, you couldn't escape Francis Cabrel. In fact, it used to do my head in big time. But I appreciate his craft now. I think his first couple of albums, this one has got a bit of it's got a little psych tinge to the music, a little progressive tinge to the music. If you listen to the song Youre the Pussy, which is the title track, this one, Youre the Pussy, which means walls made of dust, so in other words, I don't know, the rays of the sun, with the dust floating. I don't know. It's great. This is a great record. It's from 1977. Francis Cabrel. If you don't like it, I do like this album. I actually do like this album a lot. I just, bizarrely enough. And now to finish with a trio of sort of more avant-garde stuff. Two of these records are related to Brigitte Fontaine. I'm not going to show you any Brigitte Fontaine because she's more progressive than simply folk. This record here is beautiful. Un beau matin, Areski. Areski was Brigitte Fontaine's, co-song. They wrote lots of songs together. They made lots of albums together. Areski Belkacem is a genius to me. This record has got plenty of really, again, political lyrics. There's a song called Bali on this, which, has the most accurate sort of lyric about the Western world and how the white man has basically raped Africa and Asia, and which is true. We kind of have. Just fantastic. Areski, this is from this is on Sarava, by the way, which is an original pressing on 1972, I'm guessing. I'm just purely guessing 72, but I don't know. Doesn't say. Sarava. Alright, two more. I'm already on 13 minutes. These Gimme 10s are not very easy to do in 10 minutes anymore. To talk about Jacques Higelin. Jacques Higelin is also related to Areski and to Brigitte Fontaine. They all made records together. Higelin and Areski made records together. Higelin made records with Jacques Higelin, made records with Brigitte Fontaine, etc. I think they all made records with each other, basically. This is a compilation, Inédit 1970 on Sarava, you can see. It's a wonderful little... Inédit means unreleased, so it's kind of a compilation of unreleased tracks from 1970 on Sarava. Great, this guy is fantastic. He's made lots and lots and lots of records, and I have quite a few of them. Most of them on CD rather than on vinyl. They're quite easy to find on vinyl. This is a great guy. It's fantastic. And finally, someone who, is a Brigitte Fontaine of sorts. Sorry, my records are slipping from there. Mama Beata Kielski, La Folle. This is a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. Imagine Marianne Faithfull and, someone like Brigitte Fontaine and someone like PG Harvey. Kind of a mix between all those kind of, like a PG Harvey meets Marianne Faithfull, but singing in French, you know? It's my Mama Beatrice. It's a double record. Obviously, this is also an original. Love the label of this. Isadora Records. It's very nice, very good, cool. And these lyrics are very, very, you know, kind of touching, affecting, you know. So there you go. A gimme 10 on French folk. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you think I'm a freak for showing Francis Cabrel records. Let me know.